Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Jedidiah Goodacre. I play the lovely Dorian Gray on the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and I am hanging with Galaxy on Comic-Con Radio. Whoa!
You know what must be done, Sabrina. Claim the throne. Save precious Greendale. Your boyfriend.
Can't keep going on like this. It can't be all hell all the time. Sigils apertas. It's not all hell. It's all Nick.
The balance is off in hell, so it is off in heaven, so it is off on earth. To preserve one realm, you must preserve them all.
Embrace your destiny, Sabrina.
Hell's under new management now.
I'm the devil's worst nightmare.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Will you help me?
Here we go again. If you want the crown, you're going to have to prove yourself worthy of it.
That's my girl.
Being queen of hell isn't a summer job. You're putting the coven in peril just so you can see your boyfriend.
Forget about me. You have a coven to save.
Save Greendale, my family, my friends, everything I love. All right, Salem, let's finish this. Honestly, first purgatory, now hell. What's next? Heaven.
I'm the devil's worst nightmare.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy for another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Today we have a really cool cat. He's on a very popular TV series right now that's on Netflix. It's kicking ass, a lot of witchery, a lot of everything that we love to see. Today we have Jedidiah Goodacre on Comic-Con Radio. Jedi, what's up, brother?
Not too much. Thanks a lot for having me on. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody out there. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. You're on a TV series right now called The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
It's an amazing show to work on. I can't say enough good things about it. From the get-go, I loved working with Roberto, the creator, and the rest of the crew. It's a really special show, and to be able to bring to life the character of Dorian Gray is kind of been a career-long dream of mine. So. It's checked quite a few boxes, this job, so I love it.
Well, for a lot of people that don't know who Dorian Gray is, there's the Dorian Gray character that Oscar Wilde's famous novel made popular, but who is Dorian Gray on Sabrina?
Dorian Gray on Sabrina? It's a difficult question. There's not too much about Dorian's full backstory. I guess that's... you're just supposed to know from the famous literary work of Oscar Wilde. But in The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, I play a bar owner. I own the Grey Room, which is the popular place for witches and warlocks and people of all sorts to go and have some libations and have a good time. I guess I'm kind of the party master.
You're the party man, the nightclub owner for warlocks.
The nightclub owner, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Witches sneak in there sometimes. It's supposed to be only a gentleman's club, but obviously Sabrina pay attention to any rules, so she's been in there a few times.
She goes anywhere she wants, right? Because it's her show.
Yeah,
her name's on the show. So Dorian Gray, you play the same character from Oscar Wilde's novel. Is Dorian a vampire? What is he? Is he like some kind of warlock? Or...
Dorian is a warlock, and he is immortal. You know the story of Dorian Gray. He gained his immortality after having a portrait painted of himself by an old friend, Basil. That's Dorian. He's not a vampire. I've played quite a few vampires on other shows and stuff, but this is my first time being a warlock.
Well, I knew that. I want the fans that haven't watched the show. They might be living under a rock. So let's put Dorian Gray aside. Let's go into Jedi's life. Jedi is who? Where are you from? Where were you raised?
Well, I am from a very small town in Ontario, Canada, called Petrolia. Like, when I say small town, I mean like small town, like 5,000 people. And pretty much all 5,000 people are attached to farming in some way. So I grew up in a small little farm town, and I never really did anything in acting or dramatic arts or anything like that. I was mostly a sports addict when I was a kid. Then when I was 23, I was just at a party, and my friend Justin Christmas, he said to me, "Hey man, you should be a stand-up comedian." And I don't know why that hit me so hard at the age of 23. I was going to college, and the next day I dropped out and became an actor. Luckily, my parents were on board with it, because that would have been a very scary thing to do on my own. But after that, I moved out to the big city of Vancouver, Canada, and the rest is kind of history. I was lucky enough to meet up with my agent, Elena, who has been like a second mom to me, and thank goodness she's there, because I wouldn't be here without her. So, and then I guess the most important thing I have to tell you about myself is my dog, Zuko. I'm staring at him right now. He's staring at his food bowl. He's been the light of my life for the last 7.5 years, and he goes with me everywhere, and that's the biggest part of my life.
He gets to hang
out with if you talk to anybody who really knows me, they'll tell you about my dog for sure.
Well, that's great. You have a love for animals. You said you're from this town called Petrolia. That sounds like a made-up town. If someone was looking at a sign, a petroleum sign, they're like, "Where do you live?" Petrolia. That's where I'm from. So.
Petrolia, yeah. Well, interesting fact about Petrolia, it's Canada's Victorian oil town. It was where oil was first discovered in Canada. A town that you can definitely smell the oil, but it's very funny that you say it sounds like a made-up place, because I'm sure if you went there, you would not believe some of the goings on. So
weird stuff? Is it cool stuff?
Or... Oh no, it's just small town stuff. You know, everybody knows each other, and when that happens, there's bound to be a lot of good drama, bad drama, just funny stuff all around.
Gotcha. That's cool. You know, hopefully one day they'll make a reality show called Petrolia.
It's already in the works. I've got the scripts made up.
There you go. So do you write as well, or is it just acting?
I do write, yes, but I've always been kind of, I guess, this kind of fearful procrastinator, where I'm afraid if I ever actually sit down to put anything down, it won't actually come to fruition. And I'm sure that's a big fear that a lot of artists have that want to create something. But just recently, I've kind of gotten over that fear and started writing a feature film based on one of my friend's lives. So, and it's an amazing true story, and I hope I can do it justice. And that's my plan there. But eventually, I would love to act, direct, and write. I know that's kind of the popular thing to do these days, but I just feel like running a team of people and a cast and being a leader there is something to try out and see if I could hack it.
Hey, whatever you could get your artistic juices to flow, you got to do it, because you never know. There's some actors that started out in acting and then became amazing directors, like Ron Howard. So
yes, yeah.
It happens, but you know, you're a youthful gentleman. You got a long, time ahead of you. So, got a question. You've been in Legacies and Descendants and The Order and The Originals and all these different cool, mysterious roles. Do a lot of people think you're mysterious?
I don't know if mysterious would be the word that people use. People might use the word weird sometimes, mysterious, but I'll take mysterious. I don't know. There's probably not too many people that know the real me. So I guess maybe I am a little bit mysterious, and I hope that's not a bad thing. I hope it doesn't come across rude to people or anything like that. But
Of course not. You know, a lot of fans want to know about you because you are mysterious on Sabrina. You're there every now and then. You're solving a situation, and that show is becoming iconic and legendary. We've had multiple guests, cast members from the show on our show, and the fans just can't get enough of it, and they want to know. So I got some cool questions for you today. Are you ready?
All right, hit me up.
You are Jedi Master. Who is your celebrity crush? If it could be anybody in this universe.
Oh, wow. Well, after J-Lo's absolutely sensational performance at the Super Bowl, wow, just amazing. Always had a crush on J-Lo. J-Lo would be my like childhood kind of forever celebrity crush. I don't know when that started or why, but just to keep me safe, I'll go with my childhood crush, Jennifer Lopez.
That's Jenny from the block. So that's why you have a crush,
right? I'm sure there's a and Alex Rodriguez is kind of in the way, but whatever.
What advice would you give a younger Jedi?
That's a tough question because there's a lot of advice I would love to give younger Jedi or any younger actor. There's this motivational speaker, that Gary Vee guy that everybody hears about, and I think he said something that really hits the nail on the head, and it's you have to get used to hearing the no. It's not about going to 100 auditions and hearing that one yes and that making your career. It's going to 100 auditions and hearing 100 no's and still going back for that 101st audition with the same vigor and excitement and passion that you went into the first one, because it's such a grind to get your foot in the door, especially if you start kind of late in the game. I would just say don't stress about little things and focus on the long game and focus on yourself and what makes you happy, because getting parts on shows, it's a great feeling, but people that really stick it out and do it for the reasons that they love are, I think, the ones who are in it for the real reason. So if that's you out there, I would say don't worry about how many no's you get. As long as you love what you're doing, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't feel bad about being scared. Being scared is a very normal thing and a very common thing, especially when you're working in a business when you don't know when the next job is coming exactly. For younger actors out there, get some thick skin and go for it. Jump in with both feet, because if you walk into the shallow end of a pool, you're not really going to learn how to swim. But if you jump into the deep end, it's kind of sink or swim. And the good thing for all of us as humans is we float. So even if we can't swim, we might be able to float in that deep end until we learn.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at you, man. I see this form of sense of humor. I got a chance to look at your Instagram page, and I see a lot of sense of humor coming from you. And usually, dude, let me tell you something. People that are not in your position, they actually just walk around shirtless on their Instagram and show off doing push-ups and stuff. But there's one picture of you. I'm like, is that Jedi? Is that...
I've been told by publicists to get content out there that people kind of want to see. And sometimes people want to see, like you said, like shirtless photos or like a nice selfie of me and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know. That's just not really who I am. As you can probably tell, when I'm working on set, I have so very few photos of people on set or myself on set, because I'm just not, I don't have my phone out. It's usually in my backpack, and I'm just, telling jokes in the cast room or whatever it is, or eating tons of food at Crafty. So that might add to the mystery of myself as well, because I'm kind of I wouldn't call myself a troll on Instagram, but some of my jokes are definitely meant to have that effect.
So is stand-up comedy something you're looking towards? Like you want to go there?
Oh, so badly. I just recently went to a comedy show in Vancouver, and every time I go to, I've been to so many in Vancouver and Los Angeles and Atlanta. Every time I go watch, I feel like I just want to be the next guy to go up on stage and enjoy the crowd, because, it's a nerve-wracking thing. It's not like acting where if you screw up a line or you screw up a take, they're like, okay, all right, let's set it up, going again. We'll take two. If you're up there by yourself on a stage doing stand-up comedy and your joke flatlines, you can tell right away. And there's and I think there's something that's just very cool about that, the immediate response to you, and also the fact that I would love to go up there and tell jokes for what I think is funny, and if the crowd doesn't respond, then that's almost just as funny to me, because I laugh at myself when I tell jokes that aren't funny. I find it hilarious. And I think that's something that would work well in stand-up comedy. And yeah, I guess whatever. I'm just dying to do it. I'm a big fan of Chris D'Elia, Bill Burr, Richard Pryor, all the older ones.
He's a funny dude.
Yeah, he's a very funny guy, and I would love to do a podcast like he's got set up, but I'm too nervous of people being like, you're just copying Chris D'Elia. But I don't know. I've thought about
hey man, let's talk. We have a network
going down
here,
that road.
Right? We have a network here. Let's talk
I guess
about
so,
that.
yeah. If you guys are looking.
We can get you out there. We have an amazing fandom here. They're really supportive. I think you should do it. And like I said, the door is open over here. We're actually expanding our horizons. We want to add horror. We want to add comedy. And there's so many things out there in our universe, our Comic-Con universe, that mix well with it. So with that said, if there was a TV series or do a comedy stand-up show in front of tons of people, which one would you pick first?
Oh, man. Ooh, I think right now I would choose, man, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one because I really want to do it so badly is get out there and do stand-up comedy and fall on my face and get back up and keep going at it. That's I've had jobs in acting before. I've worked in that for the last 6 years, and I've been wanting to do stand-up comedy for my whole life. So I think I would be an idiot if I didn't take that opportunity. If anyone out there wants to give me an opportunity on a stage somewhere to tell some jokes that are probably bad, but maybe okay, I'll do it.
You have the influence. You can do it. I think there'll be people that will go out there. They want to see Dorian Gray on stage.
Yeah, well, hey, this is it's out there now. Like this is the first time I think I've actually, talked seriously about it, and now people are going to hear it, and hopefully they, if you hear this, keep on me about it, because I don't want to do that fearful procrastination again.
Well, I feel comedians are very influential. The things they say can really make people start thinking. I know it's done in a joking way, but they say serious things are underlying a joke, so you never know. And with that, which celebrity is like most influential right now to you?
I have to say my fellow Canadian. I don't know if I would call him like the most influential person in the world, because there's some amazing people out there, and I don't even know if anyone can take that position as like the most influential person in the world.
Of course.
I don't know, maybe if it goes by like most amount of followers on Instagram, I'm sure there's a person out there for that. But I'd love to give a shout out to my fellow Canadian, Ryan Reynolds. I find him hilarious. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He invests in great business opportunities. I think he's like a good model for people out there that just want to have fun with life. And I would say him. And then I definitely have to say the most influential person in my life has been Jim Carrey. And by far, all of his comedic roles, all of his serious roles, everything that he does as a human in the public eye, I just find very influential to myself. Aspire to be someone, or I'm trying to be, I guess, somebody who can be as honest with themselves and the rest of the world as Jim Carrey has become. So
yeah, Jim Carrey's pretty cool. Jim Carrey actually, he was in an interview. And he had an opportunity. He was in this vampire movie back in the 80s, and he said that it flopped, and it took him like another 8 years, don't quote me on that, to get back up. And he said if that movie would have hit and he would have became popular then, he would probably failed because he wasn't at the in the right moment in life, and then he became successful. So things take time. I love this show. We can get serious, we can get funny, we can get crazy. So one crazy question is, do you believe in ghosts?
Ooh. Yeah. I don't know if I would say I believe in it, in ghosts. Like I'm not walking around going like, oh man, there's ghosts out here for sure. But I believe in the possibility of it for sure. I mean, I don't think I know anything for certain. You know what I mean? Like if we're getting into that territory, then there's a 99% chance that we're living in a simulation right now. So none of this is real, right? Like if we're getting that crazy. But I would love it if a ghost came to haunt my house.
Do you really feel we're in a simulation?
Oh, I don't. I'm just meaning like.
Yeah, I get it.
There's that probability out there that if humans in the future develop a simulation that is as real as life can get, then there's a 99% chance
the
that we're
struggle
actually
shouldn't
in
be
that
so hard.
simulation.
Then I have to change my simulation right now.
Right. But we don't know who's controlling it all, or if anyone is, or if we're just a simulation that's been running for years and people forgot about us.
Or our own self is running it and making us go through this over.
Over and over again.
Feel the pain.
But no, I think back to ghosts. I think ghosts it would be really cool if they were real. And if there's any ghosts out there that are looking for somebody to haunt, bring it on. I always joke with my friends that if a ghost came into my house to haunt me, they would probably end up haunted themselves. So
you know what? That's very brave of you. Tyler was on the show, one of your castmates from Sabrina.
Yes, Tyler.
I asked him that he got scared and he started looking behind him, and I said, "Is there someone behind you?" And he freaked out during the interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a cool guy. He's like, I'm scared of those things. So
yes, he's a very funny guy.
So, what's your coolest moment during the show? Something that you could share?
There are a lot of pranks. I don't know what. I think I'm too afraid to pull any pranks on anybody else on that show because of fear of payback. My comedy can sometimes be a little bit weird and mysterious, like me. So a lot of the stuff that happens behind the scenes with other actors and stuff is kind of like.
We'll save
let's
that for your
keep
show.
that one to ourselves.
We'll save that. So with that said, which castmate has been cool on and off screen?
All of them are great. I hate to pick names out of the bunch because I don't want other people to be like, hey, where the hell was my name? You know. Yeah, exactly. I said hi to you that one time. No, I think Gavin and Ross are and Sam, who just joined. I think they're like stand-up guys. They've been a lot of fun to hang out with and work with. But somebody I look up to definitely on the show and am kind of like in awe whenever I'm working with them is Richard Coyle. Been a big fan of his, and when I found out that he was part of the show as well, first thing I got very nervous because I was like, man, this is a guy who has like the quintessential RP British accent, and it's like perfect, and he speaks like, you know, a god among men when he's speaking. So I was like, oh man, I have to do a British accent in front of this guy, and I'm talking to him. So that was a very nerve-wracking moment, but he came up to me afterwards and said, great job and stuff like that. So that was a big moment for me. I was like,
you're not British,
oh,
Jedi?
yeah, right?
I didn't know that.
Goodness, no. No.
Hey, man. Well, that's good. Yeah, he's a really cool dude. Richard Coyle, I love him.
Yeah.
Every show he's on, he's amazing.
Yes.
So I get where you're coming from, man. That's that man crush. That's the dude.
Yeah.
People man crush.
Yeah. And I have to say, I have a couple of, I guess, woman crush it would be, instead of man crush,
Okay.
or just crushes. I don't know.
Who's that?
Either way.
Do tell.
I love Tati Gabrielle. I think she is one of the coolest people on the planet. She's just she's so herself, so bubbly. Her little dog is adorable as well, and she's just been a really very kind person to speak to, and a great friend. And then also our fearless queen and fearless leader, Kiernan Shipka, is just one of a kind. You know what I mean? She's wild. She's very intelligent, fun to talk to, and inspirational herself. So
nice, man. Dorian Gray is being nice to everyone. Look at
right
this.
for change.
Fans, look at this. You got to give them a hug. So when you go to a Comic-Con event, I think fans are going to give you a lot of hugs. Have you been to one? Do you want to go to one?
I haven't actually been to too many things like that, just because being busy with work. Usually when an opportunity comes up like that, I'm working on something else. But I would love to. I love fan interaction. Like I said, my hometown, Petrolia. It's a very small town, but some people have seen that, you know, I'm working in TV shows, and they're fans of the shows. So when I go back to Petrolia, every single time, you know, whether it's Descendants fans that want a headshot signed or something like that, or I'll usually set up a booth at the arena in town, which is kind of like the meeting post in Petrolia. So anybody can bring their kids by to get Chad Charming stuff signed, and then any fans of Sabrina. I love doing stuff like that. So it hasn't, I guess, gotten to the point for me where it's too much, and I don't know if
That's cool.
I don't know if it ever will be, because I have 11 nieces and nephews. I should have said that back when you asked me about Jedi. I can't believe I just mulled over these little radigans that I have running around, my 11 nieces and nephews. They're all just crazy. Every single time I go home, it's like I'm a human jungle gym. So I'm very used to hugs, taking pictures with people. That's something I would love to do, because no matter how much it weighs on me, or, maybe I've been there for 4 hours doing the same thing over and over again, I kind of like to put myself in the shoes of the person who's been waiting at the back of the line for 4 hours, and they're in the same position I am, so I don't. I would love to go to something like that and meet some people, kiss some hands and shake some babies, or the other way around there. Yeah.
That's cool of you that you do that in your hometown. Do you see any of your friends from like high school or school coming by?
Oh yeah.
How is that going?
I gotta go.
Any of the girls that kind of dissed you and back then, or you're probably always Mr. Popular? I don't know.
No. I was a bit of a troll. First off, here I got to give a shout out to all my boys back home who hang out at the Christmas house, and all of those guys, because I've stayed close with my friends from high school, my crew of friends. They've always been there for me. We'd all die for each other, and it's a bond that'll never be broken, boys? But anyway, sorry, that was a little aside for about 10 people only. Sorry, what was your original question? I totally blanked out there.
It's okay.
Or what were we
shout
talking
outs to your homeboys back home in Petrolia, the made-up town that we just created today. No, what I was saying is, when you go back home and you see old friends from high school or somebody that you crushed on or something, how does that feel? Did it ever come out? Do you feel weird around them? Or I know new fans come out and you probably you're cool with that. Look, you do that thing, you sign everybody's stuff, but anybody, how does that feel?
Well, it is strange, because I'm sure, if anyone in Petrolia is listening to this, they probably know the answer to your question. I was a bit of a troublemaker when I was growing up, as all of us can be at some point. I don't know. I guess I wasn't popular in the town. Maybe I was, but my family was very popular. We were, like I said, the arena is the meeting post of the town, and we were always at the arena, always playing on hockey teams, running the concession booth up front and stuff like that. It's pretty weird to go back there now and people be like, "Oh, Jed, I saw you on the show. It's amazing. I loved it. Thanks so much." And I take that full-heartedly. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. But it's just funny sometimes when I think back and I'm like, I remember you not being happy with me at your son's party the other day, and now it seems to be a change of tune, huh? But no,
over my head.
Yes, no, I don't think I was anything like that. And God, if I was, and if there's anybody I need to apologize to out there.
Well, no, I'm saying it happened to you, not to anybody.
Oh, it happened to me. Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe there's some people out there that owe me apologies. No, I'm
You're
kidding.
like, hell no, that would never happen to me. Jedi?
Yeah, right.
The Force. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
So Star Wars, are you a fan of it? I know it has nothing to do with
Yes, I am.
Oh, you do? There you go. Wow. That's cool.
I'm a big fan of The Mandalorian that just came out, obviously, and the Baby Yoda of it all. But it's always been kind of a favorite of mine. My brother grew up loving it, and I think that got passed on to me. So.
Well, Sideshow just came out with a life-size action figure of the child. So I think it just launched. So if you're a fan of it, or if anybody's a fan of it, go check it out. Okay, how has your evolution changed your personal life ever since you've been on Sabrina?
I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know. Maybe I'm too simple of a guy to notice stuff like that. well, obviously, like people reaching out and saying that they love the character on the show, that just adds more, I guess, happiness or serotonin in my life or whatever it is. Because I never usually was a person who would interact with fans on a Instagram post and stuff like that. I was almost more annoyed that Instagram was something I had to do. But recently I've come around to that, and I've kind of the same thing as like if I were to be at a Comic-Con and, you know, hugging people for 4 hours straight, and then I get sick of it, and then this, you know, one kid who's been waiting there for 4 hours doesn't get a hug. Like, I'm starting to look at like interaction on Instagram as kind of the same thing, because, you know, there's sometimes people from halfway across the world that, you know, might never have the chance to meet. It's so weird for me to say this, but to meet me and say like hi.
Come on,
you know
man.
what I mean?
You gotta follow
like
dude.
it's strange, right? It's
You're
strange
cool,
coming
dude,
from
man.
like a small town and having people reach out to you. So I think probably when that first started to happen after Descendants and Legacies and stuff, I think I was kind of maybe taken aback, and I really didn't know how to respond or you know, give back to the fans what they were giving to me. Like, I was getting love for my work on these shows, and I was like, I don't know, I can't reach out to every single person and do that. I just don't have the time to do that, and I have other things, you know, I have a dog to take care of. But just recently, like the last few months, I've been, you know, kind of taking that to heart and saying like, well, I can't, maybe if I can't reach everybody, I can do a little bit here and there. So just every once in a while when I'm, I don't know, sitting at home, nothing to do, I'll look on Instagram and see if there's some people that have posted like comments or something like that, and I'll try to answer them just because.
There you go. There you go.
I think that's,
you're a humble dude, man. It's very appreciated, man, in today's day and time. You're on an amazing TV series that's a huge hit. It's like building a cult following. It's its own fandom. It's amazing. You know, here's the thing. I know you're on an amazing TV series right now, and you're probably working on cool stuff. I'll get into that real quick. But if there's any superhero you could be, which one would it be?
I did hear you ask Tyler Cotton this question, and his answer was Robin, and I think that's perfect for him. So if anybody out there wants to hire him for Robin, do it. But for me, it's a toss-up right now. It's a toss-up for sure, and it has been my whole life. I think if I had the chance to be a superhero, I would turn my dog into a superhero and then play him. No, I would go for either the Hulk or Wolverine.
Okay.
But those would be my two favorites. Or, you know what, if Ryan Reynolds ever gives up the mantle, I think I would love to try and take on the role of Deadpool. That would be a pretty amazing one, just because he's done such a good job at doing it. It almost makes you want to do it yourself. So
you're like, I can do it. I want to do this.
I don't know if I could do it. I want to try. That's for sure.
Hey, man, you could do anything. You know what I see you as in Fantastic Four? As the Human Torch. I can picture you as the Human Torch. There you go.
Hot. I'll take that.
Sizzling around the sky, you know, just, you know, being yourself. And also, if you want your dog to be a superhero, he could be Crypto, Superman's dog. And he can fly around.
There you go.
And, you know, save the world. We actually have a whole, a spread about Crypto in our new debut issue of Comic-Con magazine that's coming out next week. Yep. The first.
I'll have to buy that for my dog.
Hey,
I'm not sure he knows how to read,
free.
though.
We will send you a bunch of copies. And with that said, you know, I know Sabrina's amazing. I know things are going well. Any projects you're working on that you want to share?
None that I want to get in trouble for sharing with the fans. There's a few NDAs that I don't want to break. But auditioning has been going well for this first bit of 2020, and I actually just did an audition the other day, that I am very hopeful for. It's a very cool project, and like I said, I can't really tell you anything about it, but I can just tell you that I'm super excited about it. Hopefully you guys will be excited about it someday too. But the other thing I guess I would say is I'm excited about, now that I brought up the stand-up comedy of it all, like I have to do that because I'm going to be held accountable by thousands of people that hear this. So
rip your shirt.
yeah, they're gonna make me do it. So that, and I'm writing that film, true story based on my friend's life. So those are the two things that I'm most excited about that I can tell you guys about.
Is it a comedy or something serious?
It is. So do you know the movie The Dirt?
Yes.
On Netflix, the Motley Crue story.
Of course.
So something along the lines of that, and then there's a Canadian movie called Hello Destroyer, which my friend Jared Abrahamson was in and just absolutely killed the role. And that movie is very, very intense and very dramatic. It's almost like fireworks on a screen type of thing. And so if I could put those two movies together and then have it directed by Guy Ritchie, that's the film that I'm writing about my friend. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That'll be actually really cool. There you go. So we can't wait for that.
Yeah.
And we want it to come in fruition. You know what, Jedi, you've been amazing on the show. We would love to bring you back and chat with you. I know there's so much more, and I can't wait for you to like do some stand-up comedy. And like I said, the invite's open. We would love to host your show here on Comic-Con Radio Network. If you like,
hey, I've already got a name for it. Beating Around the Bush with Jedidiah Goodacre.
There you go. Boom. That's cool. That's a good name. Hey,
yeah.
You never know. Let's do it.
Not bad, right? Not bad.
Not bad at all, brother. Not bad. Well, you know what, brother? Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it. And it's time to head out. Is there anything you want to tell the fans before we start jamming out?
I just want to say thank you to everybody out there who's ever sent me any love, and to the people who haven't even sent me any love or anything like that. Thanks for just being whoever you are, another human being on the planet. So let's all work together and make this place a better place. That would be my closing. Not exactly like a stand-up comedy thing, is it? I think we're kind of in the times where we all got to band together and change the world for the better, or if not, just help someone else that you know. So
there you go. That's some good advice and a good statement at the end. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, lovely, wonderful people out there, if you want to get a hold of Jedi, go to Jedi Goodacre, and that's Goodacre on Instagram. Follow him. Check him out. We just followed him right now. I don't know why we didn't do it yesterday. I'm going to kick you guys' butt later in the production window. But I
was waiting. That's why you didn't get a follow back.
Yeah, there you go. We just
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Anyways, you've been lovely on the show. If you guys want to reach out to him, say what's up. He is a very cool dude, very personable. And you heard him on the show. Come on, say what's up to him. Reach out. Be a fan and support his career. And with that said, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy for another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio with Jedi Goodacre. Jedi, ready? Let's blow some kisses out to the universe. Are you ready, brother?
All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Mwah, a billion kisses.
Oh, I love you. Love me.
Wow, we just heard you make out with the phone.
Yeah, that was it.
With the microphone, you just made it. Well, you know what? They're going to take those kisses and they're going to put it in their pocket and save it while they're watching you on Sabrina.
Good.
So it's going to be lovely.
That's kind of gross.
Movie or TV shows or stand-up comedy. Whatever you do, man, we wish you a billion good luck. Can't wait to have you back on. Hopefully we'll get you in Comic-Con magazine. And with that said, peace.
Peace.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Instagram at Comic-Con Radio. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.
Amazing. First try.
One take, right?
Are you an actor or something? I don't know.
Nah. No, I'm a stand-up comedian.
There you go. Stand-up comedian.